Hi everybody, so in this video we are going to look at relationships. So relationship is a connection between two nodes, so whether it's a file, article, website, a contact, it's a connection which allows you to link and explore related data. So before we get started onto how to create connections and all, let me just show you what happens when you have relationships between your data in myReach. So as you know, you've got different views. There's the list view, the card view, board map, and then there's the visualizer, which literally shows you all the relationships between your data in myReach. So here we've got the Acme workspace with 105 nodes, which are illustrated here. So this is all the relationships. So you can see, for example, start company, that is a tag of a company. If you click on it, all the other things in your workspace fade out into the background, and you've got the tag and all of its connected relationships that appear here. So essentially, it's a way of seeing what you have in your myReach in a 3D visualizer and how it's all connected. You can play around, move it around, and this just shows you what your relationships look like. Now, if we go back to the list view where we were before, if you select any of these nodes, you can see all of its relationships. So here you see there's 3 related nodes to this article. David Miller has 18 related nodes, so let's look at David Miller. In the tabs here at the top, you've got the relationships, properties, comments, and workspaces. So there's another video where we talk about properties and how to create them, what they are, their use and all. Then there's workspaces, as you know, and this is very important in myReach. One node can be in multiple workspaces at the same time. So for example, if you've got a contact of David Miller and you've got multiple workspaces that David Miller is also connected to, you don't need to duplicate the contact or create a new one or anything. It's that one same node can be in both places at the same time and it's not duplicated. And now if we look at relationships, these are all the relationships that are connected to David Miller, whether they have been manually connected or if you've got the lightning bolt here, it means that the AI has recommended this relationship. Now, to create a relationship, you can click on the plus button here. So you've got all the nodes in your workspace. As you can see, the ones that are in gray are the nodes that are already related to it. If you want to connect any other ones, you can just click on them and they become blue. If you want to remove a relationship, you can click on one, it becomes red. And once you're done, you can click on done. Then if you want to add a new relationship you can't see here, instead of scrolling through your hundreds of or thousands of nodes, you can look for it here. If you're working, for example, on a new project, let's call it project B, and clearly there is no tag for this project or there are no files or anything about it yet because it's new, you can create it on the go. So create it as a topic, click on it, and it creates the new tag project B, connects it automatically, and you can then continue on from there. So as you can see, you've got project B here, it has been connected. There's a new tag created for it, a new topic with the connection to David Miller, and you can add any other connections or see which ones the AI is recommending you, and so on and so forth. Now, the interesting thing, as I said before, some relationships are manually created by you, but then there are others that are connected automatically, or the relationship is created automatically. So for example, with Google Drive, if you've got an integration, and this happens with the other integrations as well, in this case, in Google Drive, when you do the integration, all your folders become tags and the documents become files. So when you do the integration, all the files that are in each folder are automatically connected to the corresponding tag for what was that folder before. So you can have one tag with all the relationships, multiple connections to it, and you can continue from there to make sure that everything has a relationship and can be connected. Now, this is with integrations. If you then decide to import an individual file, let's look at that. So you upload a file. Let's see here. Right, so once this is saved, as you can see, there are the 12 automatic properties that are created. So as you know, there are some properties that are automatic and others that you can customize and personalize and add yourself. And in this case, it has already created a relationship. So this is an agreement. And if we open it, we will see that it is about Acme Corp and it's an agreement with multiple pages. So it has already automatically created the relationship with the company tag of Acme Corp. You can see here's the automatic connection. We can then add a relationship. Let's look what else we have about Acme. We can add a relationship to the other contracts and things that we have. Essentially, the options are endless. It's customizable to you, whatever relationships you want to create. Now, with the recommendations, it has already connected you to Acme because this is a tag that you already have in your workspace. But what it can also do with the AI, it can recommend you other locations, contacts, companies, other tags that you can create based on the content of the file that you have uploaded. So in this case, it is a contract based in New York. So it has detected that and it creates the location in New York that it recommends it in case you want to create this tag, which will create the location and automatically create the relationship between the location New York and the agreement. Now, other things that it has is companies, the content. So for example, you've got confidential information, business opportunity. So you could click here, create the tag for business opportunity, and then any other data that you have, any other files that have relevant things about business opportunities, you could then connect them as well. So the tag is automatically created. Now it is in your knowledge base. And if you click on it, it opens the tag, and you can then go here and add more relationships to this tag. Now this all remains in your knowledge base, all the connections. And then what is interesting is if you open any individual file, when you go into the chat here, you can ask questions about this file and all of its relationship. So as you can see here, it would be a chat based on one node, so on this non-disclosure agreement and its relationships. So in this case, there won't be much information. It will only essentially be based on the non-disclosure agreement because the relationships are a company tag and a topic tag. There are no other agreements, contracts, websites, articles, or anything. But if you did have more websites and articles connected, if you asked a question, it wouldn't be just about this agreement, it would be about the agreement and all the other relationships. If you want to switch this off and have the chat answer questions only about the node that you select, you can click here on the three buttons and switch off the toggle of node relationships. So in this case, it will only base the answers on this one node. So as you can see, then relationships help you connect related data, whether it's manually with connections that you do or automatically with the AI recommendations. And in that way, you're able to search through your information and its related content much easier. This is very useful when you're, for instance, looking at one specific article, but you don't remember that it has a connection to all these other relevant things when you were doing your research. And it's able to answer not just on that one article, but if it finds an answer that is more relevant or has more insight in another one of the sources that you've saved, it will then use that one as well to back up the answer. Now, if we look at a few quick tips on shortcuts that we can do, when you're in the relationships, there are swipe features that you can do. So for instance, if you swipe left, you can remove the relationship. And if you swipe right, you can add a relationship name here. Now, this is not necessary, but it can be very useful just to remind you why two nodes are connected. But it is not something that is mandatory to do. So just to wrap things up, you've got all your nodes here, all your data. If you click on any one of them, you can see in the relationships all the connections that it has, whether you have created them yourself or the AI has done it for you. And there's another shortcut I want to show you. Let me just see here. So as you remember, this is a topic that was created on the go. It only has one related node now. If you want to add multiple nodes to it, you can either select them here and connect them to that node. So you can do it through here and click on done. Or, as we saw before, When you're inside of the node, you can add the relationships through here. And you can also search and for specifics, so you don't have to scroll down. Now, these are fast ways that you can add relationship, which can then help you when you're searching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions, and we'll be happy to help. I'll see you in the next video.